Welcome to Transactional Lawyering, Negotiating and Contracts, Summer 2019. I'm Professor Weldon. As you may have heard from some of your friends, this course is a lot of work, and you're going to be doing it in a compressed time frame. But you'll also be learning some valuable skills that you can use right now in your summer job and for the rest of your legal career. And it doesn't matter whether you choose to be a transactional lawyer or litigator, you're going to get some value. This is my first time teaching an online course, and for many of you, it may be your first time taking one. Fortunately, has outstanding instructional designers, and I plan to use cutting-edge teaching techniques and technology. My goal is to keep you engaged and make sure that you learn the material as well or better than if you were in a classroom with live instruction. But don't worry, you won't need any special equipment to take this class. Let's talk about what I'd like you to learn. First, I want you to learn to think like a business person and draft like a lawyer. What does this mean? Thinking like a business person means understanding the deal, knowing the pain points for your client and the other side, and working collaboratively. Drafting like a lawyer doesn't necessarily mean what you think it means. It means drafting in a clear, concise language that doesn't necessarily use legalese and big words. In fact, I want you to learn how to simplify complex legal terms when you're talking to your client and when you're drafting. Second, I want you to understand the basics of contract drafting. So this includes, from big picture, the business purpose of each of the contract's concepts. So I want you to learn how to translate a business deal into contract concepts. How do you draft each of the contract's parts? How do you draft definitions, representations, covenants, indemnification, conditions, terminations, etc.? You'll learn when to use words like shall and will and may, and why does it matter. You'll learn how to draft with clarity and without ambiguity, how to add value to a team and a deal, and how to negotiate terms. For example, you'll be doing a negotiation this summer, but it doesn't have to be in person. I'm going to give you something from the Harvard Business School, and you'll be doing probably one of the students' favorite activities for the whole class. You'll also learn how to work through the drafting process and how to review and comment on a contract. Now you know the basics of what you'll be learning, let's talk about some of the logistics. As I've said in the email, there are two books. The one that's required is Tina Stark's second edition, Drafting Contracts, How and Why Lawyers Do What They Do. You might find that some of my past students will be willing to sell you this book, but I just want you to know that we will not be doing most of the same exercise that students have completed in prior semesters. So don't count on getting the answers to the assignments from your classmates. Now, I'm not requiring the second book, but I strongly recommend it. It is written by a practicing lawyer who's hired by law firms to train associates. And that book is Charles Fox, Working with Contracts, What Law School Doesn't Teach You, second edition. There is a first edition. Please buy the second edition. Every week, I'll list the reading from the Stark book, and then I'll add optional but recommended reading from the Fox book. The Fox book is likely to be one of the few law school books you'll want to keep after graduation, so again, I strongly recommend that you get it. Let's talk about your grades. Grades will be based on 20% class participation and professionalism, 10% group work, 40% shorter graded individual assignments, and 30% of your final contract. Class participation is 20% of your grade and includes your reviewing the reading and answering questions that are posted in the presentation. And sometimes you'll be answering questions, but sometimes you'll be drafting short clauses. Other times you'll be editing other students' clauses. Some of the assignments, for example, will require you to post drafts of contract clauses on a community bulletin board, and other students will comment and make edits. Students will be assessed by me on what they post, as well as how they edit. Now, if you fail to do the assignments on time, that's going to negatively impact your class participation grade. Participation also includes participating on group message boards after I have posted a prompt. And I'm going to grade you on professionalism based upon the timeliness of your responses to the assignments, your tone and level of engagement in group chats, from my prompts, your grammar and writing assignments, and your conduct during your office hours with me. Don't worry, the first few weeks of assignments are ungraded, so it'll minimize some of the pressure, but I will provide you feedback on those. And I will look at the completion and the effort towards your class participation for your professionalism grade. Now, group work is something that a lot of students don't like, but it's critical to the success of this class, and it counts for 10% of your grades. Lawyers increasingly work remotely or with teams that are not in the same office. You will learn or improve this important skill in class. I'll assign you to groups based on a survey that I'm going to send out to you after finals. You'll have a number of short, ungraded group assignments, and you'll have one graded group assignment. So examples of your ungraded group assignments include drafting a law firm agreement and doing a retainer letter for a client. Your group graded assignment will include a short contract. I'll ask you for your feedback on your team members at the end of the semester. 40% of your grade is going to consist of shorter graded assignments that you do. This includes client letters, memos to the file, drafts of contract clauses. For our very last class in week 9, you're going to do a 5 to 7 minute video and PowerPoint on a topic that I choose for you. Topics might include the difference between a representation and a covenant, how to draft more clearly, negotiation basics, how to do a preamble, etc. You're going to post your video to a community bulletin board, and the video will focus on the specific topic we've learned about in class, and you'll be geared toward an audience of business people or inexperienced lawyers. This presentation is going to count for part of your grade, but as an added bonus or incentive, the student who does the best video will receive an extra week to turn in the final contract. Finally, 30% of your grade is going to be that final contract. The final contract will be no more than 10 to 15 pages with a 2-page client memo. This will be due July 30th, unless you're the lucky winner, and it'll be due sometime in August. You'll know the contract assignment early in the semester, and you can work on it throughout the semester. I will help you out by looking at drafts of the final contract before you turn it in. I'm going to post videos and material on your assignments every Monday by noon Eastern Standard Time, and you'll have until Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to complete the reading and short assignments. I'm putting in Eastern Standard Time because some of you may be taking this class and be working in California, but everything will be done on Eastern Standard Time. You won't have assignments due every week, but you'll have something due most weeks. Sometimes those assignments might take 30 minutes. The bigger assignments may take a few hours, and you usually have more than 1 week to do those. However, if you fail to do any assignments for 2 of the 9 weeks, I reserve the right to drop you from the course. If you have a family emergency or a serious illness, of course, I'll take that into consideration. Finally, even though we're going to be dealing with each other remotely, I will have office hours. They'll be done via Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, or phone. You must schedule office hours with me at least twice during the 9 weeks so that we can catch up on your progress. I look forward to meeting you all virtually this summer. Please reach out to me via email if you have any questions.